Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis update of gold and silver. We'll go into the dollar 10-year yield and go into some of the companies, let you guys know what's going on. So let's just dive in. I'll give you my financial opinion right here. So this is DXY. This is the US dollar index. Again, it looks like we've got this topping pattern and we're starting to accelerate to the downside. We're breaking through that support area. Again, if this continues, this is going to be a big tailwind for our commodities, especially precious metals and oil and all of those investments. The investments don't like strong dollar, and we've increased quite a bit in the face of a strong dollar. Now we're going to get some tailwinds, hopefully. Hopefully we can pull back. Hopefully this can head a lot lower. Inflation's out there. That's usually, and remember, this is a relative index, basically. But if we get some relative weakness, money's going to flow out of dollar-denominated assets, I think. And that's what we're seeing. The 10-year yield is remaining robust. It is still remaining robust. And I know people, you got to get your time frames right, guys. You got to get your time frames right. You can't be looking at the short-term little pullback here and say, it's completely done. No. You have to take a big picture view. Yeah, we're up against this resistance line once we break through that. If it does break through it, if inflation remains high and we have lower yields, maybe they're in there messing with it. I don't know. That just means that we're going to get more tailwinds behind us. The CRB index was up today. It's also looking quite strong. We just got to break out of this resistance area and we're up, moving on up again. Another leg higher. Gold moving higher today, looking quite strong. Nice, pretty good closing in terms of the strength into closing. If you were to look at it from, this is a 5-day perspective, you can see we pull back a little bit off the end of the day. I like finishing strong right at the all-time high. Right, not all-time high, but the high of the day, I should say, is always best if you've got it at the end of the day with momentum going up. Silver, moving on up today, above the resistance line. It's actually looking really good. Nice strong closing as well. And platinum also looking strong. This is a bullish engulfing. It looks really strong to move on up. And let's hope that continues, that strength. The XAU to gold ratio bouncing off this support line. We had some movement sideways. Do we still have a little bit more wiggles left in it before we move higher? Tough to say. I'm in this stuff either way. I'm riding it. But the companies themselves, lots of good moves today. Karora Resources was just sideways on its support line. EXK moving higher, nice good buying pressure today. FSM buying pressure today, moving on higher, that looks good. SILJ, again, we're bouncing off that support line, and we are using that support line to bounce from, so that looks good. GDX, still within the pattern, but buying pressure. MMNGF, more buying pressure, up 6.3%, looking good. Some of these small guys really starting to move. Koya Silver. Now, if what I'm guessing that this is, guys, if I were to draw in a full pattern here, you're going to see the full kit and caboodle here. That is what it's looking like. This is your spot that would be a slingshot pattern. I'm starting to see these. And if you're a platinum member, I'm going to share a whole bunch of stuff with you guys coming up over the next couple of days on slingshot patterns, what looks good, some maybe higher risk entry points for some of these higher risk companies. I should say low risk entry points with the higher risk companies. But I'll show you a whole bunch of different stuff that's coming up. Discovery Silver, moving on up today, bouncing off that support line, looking a lot better than before. The buyers are coming in. The overall markets are starting to stabilize. Let's hope that continues. AG, another one that's down there. Looks like it's getting that bounce. I do see this pattern a lot where it likes to go higher. Let's auto it in there, but there's your support line underneath it. And another thing that I've noticed is you get these 3 humps, and then we get a break higher, hopefully. Newmont, getting a little bit of buying pressure. Maybe this is trying to put in a bottom here. Mag Silver up quite a bit. This is a bullish engulfing here to stay there. Usually that works its way higher. So that looks good. Yamana Gold moving higher today. Not much of a reversal candlestick or anything down here, but it is moving higher. Impact silver, there's the bullish engulfing there. Usually they resolve themselves to the upside. Aftermath silver, another one that's down there quite a ways. Hopefully we can get some momentum. Arcana gold putting in a bullish engulfing, looking good from a slingshot perspective. Is this a slingshot or is this a trap where we come up and then roll back over? I don't know. I haven't looked at the fundamentals of Arcana silver, so I don't want to say anything there. Platinum group metals moving sideways there. Siboney, Stillwater moving sideways above support, still looking okay. Again, support areas is typically where I like to purchase things. Sandstorm gold getting a nice good move higher. This is holding that line of support. Looks pretty good. Starting to come higher here with some good buying pressure. Looks like Franco-Nevada's holding, and we're getting a little bit of buying pressure here. Will we move sideways here, or are we just going to bust on higher? I don't know. Gold looks pretty good. Tough to say. EMX right at support. Support is holding at the moment. Teuton Resources moving sideways down a little bit. We've got Wheaton Precious Metals coming back up above a support line, looking good. Gold Royalty moving sideways to higher. Metallo Royalty moving on up. We got that nice kind of V-bottom type look that I see a lot. Mavericks Metals, big bullish engulfing there. That usually resolves itself higher, so that looks good. Royal Gold, no reversal candlestick yet. We still got some good momentum to the downside. We'll see if the buyers can reverse that. Cisco Gold Royalty using support, and it is bouncing higher. That's good. That's really good. And Altius Minerals looks really good here. That's a bullish piercing with another bullish piercing. There's two in a row. That's probably where it's going to go. So that's what I've got for today, guys. Strong closing for a lot of these. They look good. They look good compared to what was happening. Again, I also think that if the dollar gets weaker here, I think that we'll probably see these guys move on higher. That's my take, especially if you have a weaker dollar with rates that are not going sky high. If they kind of level off or go slightly lower and the dollar goes lower, I think precious metals will really start to get a tailwind behind it. Will the 10-year yield go up? I'm not exactly sure. We'll have to see and watch it. Would I be positioning in these companies? I would be. Myself, not advice, but me, I would. If you guys need help figuring out what companies, where to put the risk down, if you have companies that you want me to look at, sign up to the Platinum membership. Ask it this weekend. Ask me this weekend my opinion. I'll give you my opinion on what the charts look like. I do more. I look at these things from a long-term perspective. I'm really in it to make a whole bunch of money. I'm not in it to make 40% gain here and there or 100% gain here and there. I'm looking for the big move, and I'm going to ride this big move. I think the big move is coming. The exact timing, I don't know for sure, but the way that these things are looking, they look pretty good. And I think right now is the time to start picking the companies that you might want to invest in. What companies are those? That's where the Platinum membership comes in. Sign up, the link's below. If you want to have a Platinum membership, you can see the companies that I like. I do commentary. I did a midweek update. The midweek update was waiting for some buying pressure to come in. Is this the buying pressure? I think so. It's looking pretty good. It looks like we're holding here and we're getting bounce off the support levels. So it's looking much, much better than it was even a day ago. And things can change quite rapidly here. We could see a big move higher out of some of these companies. It all depends on the overall market, depends on these money flows. And right now we're in a transition period. We are transitioning from a market that's rolling over in the normal stock market and bond market. And this money's going to transition over here. So in this interim period, in this transition period, we're going to be pulled and pushed all over the place. The charts are going to look a little bit harder to read because you're not going to have confluence across things. Things are going to start breaking apart. They're going to start decoupling. They're going to be coupled and not coupled, depending on the size of the moves. If we have large sell-offs, they might couple up. If they're small sell-offs, they may decouple. It's a transitional period. Does it mean that you should be selling your stocks? No, I don't think so. We should be invested in these things and riding it because the big trend is still intact. The CRB index is still going up. The CRB to S&P 500 is still favorable for commodities. All of these things are still intact since the early 2020s. We should be riding it the whole time. Why not? And inventories are depleting of a whole bunch of different things. Even gold, I think they're going to have production pressure in gold. And those pressures are going to manifest itself in higher prices. I think gold's a bargain right now. Massive bargain sitting on top of a pattern. I would be buying the heck out of it myself. But again, guys, it has to fit within your portfolio, within your investment strategy. It's got to fit within whatever works for you. Again, this isn't advice, it's just my opinion. And if you guys need help setting things up in terms of what I'm buying, what I think is good, you can sign up to the membership. You can see what I'm buying, what sectors I'm favoring, why I'm favoring it. And I'm also putting a lot of information, financial education and information on the channel, or I should say the website. It's on the channel as well. But getting into, the 1929 stock market crash. Why did we have that crash? What happened to real estate during that time? I highlighted an entire article that was written, not an article, but almost a paper that was written. I've got more stuff coming on terms of financial education, so you know what I know. And if you know what I know, I think you're going to get a lot more confident in holding onto these companies and not selling them in the middle of a transitional period that's coming. The big moves are still ahead of us, guys. You just got to be brave and hold on. All right, we'll catch you next time. This is Finding Value.